stop the reaction. That does not match what happens.
Go ahead and get your tickets for Double Toasted Live in Atlanta. You press that banner right there. It'll take you to x1entertainment.com. And over there you can get your tickets for Double Toasted Live in Atlanta for a night of comedy, games, and our after party. That's going to be September 2nd. So everybody, and I mean everybody, talking about that little black spider boy.
Miles! It's unbelievable.
You know, this movie did phenomenal business over the weekend. It's the second highest grossing movie of 2023 so far, right behind Super Mario Brothers, the Super Mario Brothers movie. And I believe over the weekend, it made $120 million. We see there are a lot of movies that are coming out, so competition may bring it down, but this weekend definitely belonged to Miles Morales. And one of the things that's going on with this movie is that a lot of people are saying that they like this as much as the first movie, if not better. People are saying this is just as good as Into the Spider-Verse. Of course, we're talking about Across the Spider-Verse with this one. And, you know, there's a few people out there saying, I think they improved on some things. With that said, it got me to thinking today about not just sequels that were as good or better than the first movie or the original movie, but you know, my favorites. The ones, you know, yeah, like I said, anybody can talk about Terminator 2, anybody can talk about Godfather 2, and, you know, everybody
Road Warrior,
all that stuff. You know, everybody mentions those things. Toy Story 2, all
Empire
those.
Strikes Back.
Yes, we all know those things out there. But what are the ones that are underappreciated? What are the ones that did a great job, but just did not get the attention of the business, it's just abysmal. The business or both. You know, what are the movies out there that deserve more love than what they got originally? And what are some of those movies that I say, because now there are movies that you can go to a list and see that, yes, underappreciated sequels out there. And you see those mentioned all the time. But what are some of the movies that I personally feel people should have been paying attention to a lot more? I have a list in no particular order. It's a list of 10, I believe, but it's not like a top 10. And Martin even gave some. Martin, I got one in common with you.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, I like this list.
Okay.
But him and I only had one overlap right there. So with that said, we're gonna go ahead and get to my list. I don't think he had 10 though. I think he had like 6.
Yeah, I mean, I had a longer list, but I was like, this is enough. These are the more important ones.
There you go. That's a man right there who don't want to waste his time.
No, I wrote them out. I only sent you the truncated list.
I think Martin was like, I'm not gonna be here all night. I'm gonna
Have things to do.
Yeah. Make shit longer.
I didn't send anything. I was just like, I'm gonna let them do whatever they want to do.
And I'm Big Chris. I'm not gonna do a damn thing.
I'll comment and I'll, approve or disapprove. We'll see.
Sit there and look pretty like you usually do.
I'll do that.
All right. So, getting into the 10 movies, there's more probably, but I'm like you. We didn't have to go too crazy.
Yeah.
The ones I immediately think of when I think of underappreciated sequels, the ones that I personally like, starting with, again, no order right here. Let's just go ahead and start with number 1. Not that it's in number 1's place, but this is one of the first ones to come to mind. You're like, what kind of crazy shit is that you into? People, that's The Devil's Rejects. That's a Rob Zombie movie that I remember back in the day thinking, man, I like this movie so much more than the original film. And some people today probably won't even know what the original film is.
I certainly don't.
Oh, you don't?
I don't either.
Oh, you don't?
No.
Okay.
Yeah,
so,
what is this a sequel to?
Well, see, this is another thing. This thing is so different from the first movie that a lot of people don't even recognize what that original movie is.
Howdy, folks.
Oh, let me, something's going on my computer here. Hold on.
Howdy, folks. You like blood, violence, freaks of nature?
You're known only as Dr. Satan.
That's House of a Thousand Corpses.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was the Devil Rejects was a sequel.
Yeah, me either.
Yeah. No, The Devil's Rejects is a sequel to The House of a Thousand Corpses. And the reason why you probably don't recognize that is because this movie right here was pretty much like a demented Pee-wee's Playhouse or something.
Okay, sure.
It was Rob Zombie doing what Rob Zombie usually does, which is putting kind of style over story.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And That's exactly what he does. And I've seen it on TV. I didn't see it at the theater. I saw it on TV. It is fun to watch. That's what I liked about The Devil's Rejects. The Devil's Rejects actually toned down the style. And I like the way he just switched gears because the first one is actually has a very funhouse feel to it, like a scary funhouse feel to it. You know, this one is more grounded.
Yeah.
This is more like following serial killers around. I appreciated what Rob Zombie did with this movie, but by going in and saying, first of all, I'm going to make these characters the same characters. I'm going to make it a sequel because at the end of the movie, they're on the run from what they did in the first film. And he says, but you know what? I'm just going to change the whole aesthetic of it and just make it a completely different film. I'm going to do this whole funhouse thing. And by the way, keep in mind, Rob Zombie actually did work on Pee-wee's Playhouse at one time.
Oh, that's right.
Okay.
Yeah, so he said, I'm just going to take a different whole approach to this, man, and just change the visual style of it and just make it more of a story about these three serial killers, man. And it has more of a 70s film feel to it.
Yeah.
Right.
Like you want to get into like a grindhouse movie.
Yeah.
That's what this is.
Yeah.
This has the aesthetic of it.
Yeah. But yeah, I've always had and this movie is so violent and just so crazy and almost self-indulgence in its and how depraved it is that a lot of people don't like this film.
Yeah, that's me.
I
know I'm like the odd man now. Like I know everyone like this is like the best Rob Zombie movie. I'm just like, I mean, I guess so compared to everything else that he's done. It most certainly is, but I'm not a fan of his style or his sensibilities as a filmmaker.
And I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying. But there's some people I just really love in this movie.
I know that.
Sid Haig.
Yeah.
Being one of them, man. And I love him in this film. And I just, Rob Zombie has a thing for the 70s anyway.
Yeah.
And the 60s when it comes to certain things too. But that, this whole, like he loves 70s music and whatnot. And I thought, all right, out of all the things that he loves, this is the one where he actually put it into good use. Number 2, kind of a great departure with what we did with number 1 right here. Let me see here.
Mr. Gruber,
Come in.
I'd like to get my Aunt Lucy a birthday present.
How about these rolling shoes?
Please, Mr. Gruber, be serious. I want to get a job and buy that book.
People somehow, some way, Paddington the bear from Paddington 1, of course, showed up in Paddington 2 and became even more adorable.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I would have put this on the list, but I was like, well, everybody knows about this. I didn't think it was underappreciated because even in that Nicolas Cage movie, they go on about it.
Well, the reason why I say underappreciated because it didn't do well at the box office.
Oh.
Like
really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Like critics loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but at the box office, it just didn't do all that well.
That's too bad.
That's too bad. It's an amazing movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, for some reason, people, they took that bear, and Paddington was always nice. Paddington was always likable. I challenge you. I don't care who you are, to not like Paddington.
Yeah.
Even when Paddington got adapted by that man, I ain't bring that goddamn bear in here. By the end of it, like, what Paddington man? Everybody loves Paddington.
Yeah.
And I didn't think there was any way to make him more adorable, and they did, man. It's funnier, thanks in large part to some people in the film,
Incredible
such as
supporting cast.
Well, Hugh Grant.
Yes. Yeah.
Hugh Grant is the villain in here, and he's hilarious, man. But they also just had. It's almost like they had, and I don't know how well the first one did, but it's almost like they had more resources to make like a funnier film and a bigger film because the last one was sort of a straightforward story. This family adopts a bear that comes into the city and, you get this whole fish out of water thing going on. But with this is a musical with big musical set pieces. Who's your man over here? They're about to show him. Brendan Gleeson.
Oh, he was great. I loved him.
He was about to kill that bear. By the end of it, he was like,
And Patty scares the hell out of him.
He had to be like, Paddington, you all right, man.
Yeah.
I was going to you, but I'm going to leave you alone now. There's more set pieces here. And overall, it's just a sweeter film.
It is.
Yeah,
and
agreed.
it's the production team that worked on the Harry Potter movies.
It feels like a story that's taken out of a fairy tale book or a children's book. And they play that up a little bit more. So, and look at, the set design on this, everything is just so much bigger in the right way. Not let's blow up stuff, and let's not try to bring in the latest guest star that's a pop star or something. This was something where they kept it very sweet, they kept it very simple, but somehow they made it bigger in all the places where it counts, mainly in the heart. Even Pat was like, shut up, man. But
Now, he wouldn't be that rude.
No, he would not. He would not.
He would stare at you.
He would say, shut up, sir. Let's go ahead and get into our next movie right here. As far as tone goes, not too much different than Paddington.
Australia, amigo. It was a world of adventure and discovery.
Fire!
Until
Oh, shit.
This asshole. This is The Rescuers Down Under.
Wow.
I've never seen this.
Oh, man. So, with this movie, I would say maybe not better than the original, but only in one area. It's just different. They go to a different location. So if anybody knows The Rescuers, the Rescuers were a couple of mice and some other animals. They get a letter from some kid that's in trouble, and they go out and try to help that kid. Thus, they rescue them, hence the name Rescuers. The first one, they were trying to save this girl from this crazy bitch. In this one here, they go to Australia and try to save this boy and his eagle from a poacher played by George C. Scott. And George C. Scott, man, I would say, as a villain, I like him much better than the villain they had in The Rescuers.
He's the highlight of the movie, in my opinion. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he just doesn't care. He's like, I don't care about you, kid. I want my eagle.
Yeah.
I want to make some money.
Yeah, man, he really is. He doesn't give a shit. That's what makes him scary, man.
Yeah.
And George C. Scott is just great anyway. It was a well-animated movie. The adventure of the first film is there. The spirit of the first film is there. The humor of the first film is there. I even think they got some different voices. I think they still got Bob Newhart and was it Zsa Zsa Gabor?
Oh, yeah.
I'm not sure. I think they got them. They changed some things around. John Candy is a voice that's filling in for somebody in this. But George C. Scott really is the highlight of this. I agree with that.
rate them forever.
It's time you learned how to fish for crocodiles.
Gonna feed a little kid to crocodile.
That's some Cruella de Vil shit right there.
Yeah.
He's like, what the fuck?
I just want to know my eagle friend. What's going on? Take the goddamn eagle, man. Just get out this shit.
This movie is as underrated as it is because I believe this was coming on the tail end of that golden age. That second golden age of Disney animation.
Before 2D Little Mermaid.
animation.
A little bit before Little Mermaid, right?
Yeah.
No.
Wasn't it before the Little Mermaid?
No, I think this came out in 2000.
No, this is much older.
Was it?
Yeah,
much
it had to be. It had to be either late 80s
No, you're
or
right.
super
No,
early
you're
90s.
right. 'Cause I took some kids to see this.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was. When did this come
And
out?
was this a theatrical release or was this straight to VOD?
No, I saw it in the theater.
Yeah, I remember it being advertised.
I took two little kids from my neighborhood to go see this as an excuse to go see it myself.
What's the release date?
Oh, let me see here. Rescuers Down Under. Yeah, because they were little kids. It's probably 1990.
Okay. All right, so that's 1 year after Little Mermaid. So
Yeah.
I guess you're right. Yeah, then.
Yeah,
During the start of the
it
Disney
was the start of
Golden
that new
Age. Renaissance.
golden
The
age.
Renaissance.
Is that what they call it? The Renaissance?
The Renaissance, yeah.
You know, this was Little Mermaid came in and just stole from this because this was not a bad movie at all. Just for some reason, I think what it was is that the Rescuers had just become like something that's
an old property.
It's an old property, and one of those that's not really well remembered among the young kids, like way like 101 Dalmatians or anything with a princess in it. Yeah, you ask a lot about you ask little kids about something like the Rescuers, and it's the one that they don't really know as well.
Rescue Rangers? What?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So this movie right here, I really like the original. It's one of the craziest movies I'd seen in a long time. And I said, I don't know if they can get crazier than this. You're already kind of pushing it a little bit. But somehow they did.
They gave you an artificial heart? Yeah. How many bars does the battery show? 1. Put it back in.
It's crank high voltage, man. The first movie, if y'all haven't seen it, it's not for everybody. Did you like Crank? I don't know if you like Crank.
I've only seen the first one.
I love the first one. Second one I was about.
Okay.
Never seen a sequel.
You know what? If you're looking for where they can just outdo the first one, then this is what this is. Because I can see you being like, okay, this is just too crazy. You know, you're not really, you ain't doing nothing now, but you're acting a fool.
I mean, the first one's crazy, but it was tight.
Yeah.
And this one was like, all right, you're just trying to top yourselves.
Yeah. I think that's what I liked about it, that they just
a lot
went
of people
insane.
did, and I get that.
yeah, they just got crazier with this, man. And if you, I mean, because as you can see right there, it's not just that they started doing like stunts and gags and some of the offensive humor and getting crazy with that. They got crazy with the filmmaking. Mm-hmm. And if you watch the end of this movie, it really is one of the biggest don't give a endings. I won't say what it is if you haven't seen the movie, but I appreciate that they just didn't even end with any kind of resolution.
Oh wow, okay.
They pretty much looked at the camera. Seriously, they looked at the camera and said, I wish I could tell you, but I'm not. It's a literal a literal you, man. They give you the finger at the end of this movie. And I don't know. When I saw it, I just laughed so much with this, man. And seriously, by the end of the movie, it gets so cartoonish that something happens to Jason Statham where he's pretty much just a living, breathing animated character.
Looney Tunes.
Yeah. They even thought about doing another one where he would be a cartoon
animated. Oh wow, okay.
You want to know what happened?
Yeah, tell me.
Just give me a second. If you haven't seen the movie, give me 1 minute. At the end of the movie, he meets the final boss, the bad guy, and they fight, and the guy sets him on fire. He gets caught on fire. Jason Statham.
Oh, damn.
And he's burning.
Yeah.
And he's screaming.
Uh-huh.
He's screaming, looking at the camera like...
That's how it ends? Really? Oh, I mean, man. I'd be pissed off if that was the ending. Yeah. It is the ending.
I see, it's something like that appeals to my crazy sensibilities. Okay. I get it. I'm wild. And they thought about bringing him back or he was going to be burnt.
Oh,
and people thought, like, was that blackface?
No. It's not blackface.
I say do it, man.
Burnt face. Yeah, burnt face. Yeah. Two-face.
Yeah, there might be burn victims out there who would be offended by it.
They say he's going to come back like just black all over and burnt to a crisp, and he's just going to keep going.
I imagine Jason Statham's like, I ain't going to do it.
No, I'm not.
I'm going to wear all that makeup.
Brings me to, I believe, our fourth film, Predators.
Yeah.
Which you know.
I like this movie a lot.
We're being hunted.
What?
You know what's funnier than a dummy in a movie? A person who looks like a dummy falling, but they're real.
Whoa. Adrian Brody has that look. It's a crash test dummy.
Yeah. Got that dummy fall.
Yeah.
Yeah. Predators, man. Robert Rodriguez produced this. He didn't direct it, but
yeah, I like this movie.
I like his approach to it, though, where he's, what's cool about this is that, okay, so this expanded the backstory of the Predator more by going to their world instead of just doing a blueprint of what they did with the first one, which is somebody just taking on the Predator in a different environment, kind of repeating what, Schwarzenegger and the gang did, which I thought was cool, man. And had this been more successful, we would have been able to explore the Predator more. But at the time, it didn't do as well as everybody thought it would.
Yeah, which is a shame. I mean, I liked it that, instead of it being on Earth, it's literally on an alien world, which, again, that's a twist in the movie where you realize, like, they're just not in a jungle. It's literally a xeno jungle. Mm-hmm. Well, they're like animals, too, other creatures that the Predators are hunting. They're attacking them. And also, they can't trust each other, which is another added element to this. Oh, yeah. Because they're all from different walks of life. Like, you have one guy who's a cartel guy, one guy's from the Yakuza, one's like a mercenary. It's like, that's cool. That's another element where you can't even trust the people who are in your group.
Right. And, it advances the lore.
Yeah.
It advances the story rather than just like, resetting the same old formula again.
There's different classes of Predator. Mm-hmm. We realize, like, there's the regular ones and there's these huge berserker ones that have, like, these engorged heads. It's like, that's kind of cool.
No, it's for as much as people love the Predator, I was shocked that this didn't do better.
Yeah, it's a shame.
Yeah, and what's sad about that is that it did feed into the whole narrative that, well, people just want more of the same.
Oh, yeah.
So they did with the Predator. But I think it's in a better place now with Prey, most recently. Yeah.
Well, thanks to streaming.
Yes.
Who knows how Prey would have done had it been in theaters, which I would hope it would do well.
Yeah.
But who knows? All right. Oh, let's see. Let's go from sci-fi to straight up horror here.
You are so weird.
Are you there? Who are you?
Damn, her mouth is...
I mean, scared the shit out of that girl.
Yeah.
This is something from a Scooby-Doo cartoon.
It does, yeah.
High school. This is Ouija 2. And this movie did not do well at all. And probably because it was confusing for some people, because what they did was they took a movie considered to be bad by most critics.
You ever feel like even after someone you love has died, there's still a way you can talk to them?
You want to talk to Debbie?
Yeah.
So that's the first Ouija and
terrible.
Yeah,
yeah. So if somebody says like, "Well, we got a Ouija too," you'd be like, "Why would I watch that?"
Exactly.
Yeah.
And this is one of those movies where it was kind of a standard horror movie that they put out to make some quick money. It was cheaply made. Not a bad idea. That's a smart thing actually. But then had a group of teenagers, things they shouldn't be, and ghosts come out and kill them one by one or whatever. And like I said, it was pretty standard. So this movie, Ouija 2, came out and said, we're going to do none of that. We're going to just not even be connected to that film. First of all, this is a period piece. It centers on a family of all different ages. And it's even somewhat of a comedy. But what I really thought was, it's got some really funny moments in there. But what really stood out was how it's not just an homage to old horror, but it's an homage to the way we watch old horror movies. Because if you remember, this one had like an old film aesthetic to it. Sometimes there'd be cigarette burns in the corner. Mm-hmm. They open with the old logo.
Yep.
So they want to create like an old,
classic aesthetic.
Yeah. What are you gonna say?
The director of this, the filmmaker, is Mike Flanagan, who I think his entire career is underrated sequels to things and other underrated movies. And so this was like one of his, after Hush, which is a great home invasion movie everyone should check out.
Yeah.
This was his next big film.
Okay.
Yeah. Fucking around. Yeah, that's the part where it's like almost like a comedy too.
It's a funny horror film.
Yeah, and it's well made, man.
Yes,
That's right. It is Mike Flanagan. Mm-hmm. So and see, you could because he's done things that are in the vein of like Hammer films. Like he's done all those Hunting on Hill House.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All that kind of stuff. He did something that you have on your list.
That's right.
Stephen King loves this guy. Stephen King like, damn, I wish he'd just make me some money.
Sadly.
But yeah, folks, that one is a very underrated film that I tell people all the time. If you get a chance, check this out. And a lot of people don't believe me because it looks, when you watch the trailer, it looks something like a throwaway film. But no.
Jesus,
there were so many moments in there.
How long have you been there?
What do you say? Oh, I forgot to turn up the sound. God damn it.
Do you know what it feels like to be strangled to death?
I'm about to do that to you. Don't get away from me. Yeah, there's a lot of funny stuff in this movie, man. But it looks like a movie that, there's nothing in the trailer that really jumps out at you. Even when I saw the trailer, I was like, this looks pretty plain. But when I saw this, I was so impressed by it, man. So yeah, if you get a chance to check it out, please do listen to me when I say that this is really an underrated, underappreciated horror movie. And I don't think that you would be disappointed if you saw it, especially now that it's on, you can watch it on video. Oh, let's see here. All right, changing genres again. Let's see what we got. Switching from sci-fi to horror comedy.
Oh, okay.
To straight out comedy.
Do you want to see my room?
Ah, Mary. He's single though. Kumar.
Sorry, I don't date black guys.
What?
Wow. Man, there was so much more clever writing in this movie.
Yeah, I could not believe a Harold and Kumar movie could be that clever and funny.
I am not the biggest fan of Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle. Now, I will admit that there are you?
I am. The sequel's awful.
Oh, yes.
The third one is very good. I just didn't recognize it.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan, although over the years I've come around to certain jokes. It's the scene that makes me laugh so much. I just think about it randomly sometimes.
Come on, Boogie, let's burn this motherfucker down!
Pookie ain't even moving. Like Pookie, like he does this shit every night.
Burn this motherfucker down!
I laugh at that so hard, man. But man, the Harold and Kumar, again, they changed things around completely. Like this was a movie where they, Santa Claus exists. They shot him, and it's it's one big Christmas film that kind of makes fun of itself. They were just doing and saying nasty things, I thought, just for a cheap laugh. And hey, they do dirty and nasty things here, as you can see. Right? Jesus hanging out with hoes. I mean, this is also very offensive in a way, but much more clever than I thought the first two movies were.
Yeah, absolutely. And they'd become claymation at some point.
Yeah, it's a funny bit. Yeah.
I think there's just to say something nasty and to actually do it in some clever context is a big difference.
It was a mind-blowing surprise when this movie was in there. Like, how is this? Because it was like, I'm going to this under protest because I know I have to review it. It's like, how is this movie this funny? Now, like, guys, this movie is hilarious. And people are like, no.
There they are, the claymation dudes.
Claymation, yeah. That's good.
Yeah, it's just a lot of, it's almost like they just had it's almost like they got some sort of creative freedom to go and just make the wildest movie that they could and not being restrained to just being, one no joke about going to get hamburgers and titties and ass and all and shit jokes and stuff like that, man. I really like this. Neil Patrick Harris is very good in this movie, man. It's a fun movie, man. I say great comedy. I dare say great comedy. So this is where it gets real personal with the last two movies that we have on here. Possibly three, but let me see here. Give me a second. So with this movie here, this is something that is a movie that I just love. I've loved this movie since I was, was it just in time? She said, I missed the show yet? This is a movie I've loved since I was a kid, man. And a lot of you youngsters out there will not know anything about this, but I guarantee you, once I show you this trailer, you're not only going to want to check out the movie I'm talking about right now, but you're going to want to see the movie that it's a sequel to.
Coming to this theater as his bad, nigga,
Now, I told you it was personal, so for some people out there who are like, no, I don't think so. I don't give a fuck what you think. This is the human tornado, not tornado.
Yeah.
And this is let me go. I didn't pull it up because I didn't think I needed to, but I'm gonna pull it up right now. Because some of you saw a movie based on this film right here. Let me see. A movie called Dolomite. Let me see.
My Name is Dolomite.
What's that?
You talking about My Name is Dolomite?
No, I'm talking about Dolomite.
Okay, you said a movie based on.
Oh, that's the name of the Netflix movie.
That's the name of the Netflix. I'm talking about the original.
Oh, okay.
This is Rudy Ray Moore, better known as Dolomite.
That's the classic blaxploitation film Dolomite from the great Rudy Ray Moore, who I had the good fortune of meeting several times before he died. I love this movie. It's and if you've seen My Name is Dolomite with Eddie Murphy, you kind of get half the story. But this is a movie that he busted his ass on to fund himself. The way I consider this movie is to be one of the best as far as you want to talk about truly independent movies about somebody scratching and scraping to get it made. This is really one of the best independent movies I've seen, man. It's a lot of fun. It's crazy. But Dolomite, when you look at it, listen, the man ain't had no money. Needless to say, look how slow these fight scenes are.
He's like tapping them. He can barely get his leg up.
Yeah.
He's struggling so much. He's fat.
He's more of a sidekick.
Yeah.
So he didn't have any money, man. But when he got to the human tornado, still didn't have no money. But he had more money than what he had when he first made Dolomite, and had a little bit more experience. So he just went ahead and made it. Gave him the ability to make any of his insane dreams come true. Right. He wanted to be a comedian, a singer, a playboy, a karate master, action star. He got to do all of this right now. Oh, this is great. And he built the character up. Like the character became even larger than life, almost a borderline superhero in this movie that went around rapping before he killed people.
He think he's bad and ain't got no class. I'm gonna wrap this shotgun up his motherfucking ass.
Yeah, man. I like I said, I kind of, my teenage years, I grew up with this movie, man. I love this film. And a lot of people know Dolomite, but still a lot of people don't know that it had a sequel called The Human Tornado. There it is. The Human Tornado.
Which is better than the first one.
It is.
Yeah.
I mean, you've seen me show this a lot of times.
Yeah, I've watched it a lot of times.
Yeah, man, it's fun. I mean, I guarantee you watch this at any party, you'll have a great time. The Human Tornado. All right, wrapping things up here. Again, going into my own personal taste for movies that are cheaply made and even somewhat, D-list movies but that's part of the fun with these films. One of my favorite movies is another movie that had no budget, had not a lot of resources, but again, had a lot of heart behind the making of it. And because of that, it became a very popular cult classic immediately and was able to, at one point, make a sequel with a little bit more money, a little bit more resources.
Dark in here, so I'm gonna have to use a flash.
What the hell?
Marcel, what the hell?
Times Square freak twins.
Yeah. So what will you do? What if I have to?
This is, do you remember a movie called Basket Case?
Yes.
Yeah, Basket Case had a sequel. I think
didn't they do a trilogy?
I think they did a 3, yeah. Basket Case is a movie about Siamese twin brothers, man. And so one of them is, for the most part, normal. The other is like is a deformed brother who he has to put in a basket because he kills people.
He's a potato.
Yeah, he's just a wad of gum.
Yeah.
And this is the sequel to it. Like I said, like the first or the last movie I was talking about, which was The Human Tornado. This was very cheaply made, and for some reason, because it was such a weird idea and the filmmakers had so much fun, and plus it was the 80s, so people were just renting stuff based on, sometimes just the cover for the movie.
Right.
And this had like a creature peeking out from a basket. It became a big cult classic, even though, again, cheaply made, man. They had no money. So when you got the movie at home, because I remember getting it as a kid, thinking like, oh shit, this creature gonna look great. And when you got home, this is what you got. Hold on. Oh, look at this. This is silly.
Stop motion.
Come on. We go from a puppet, a Muppet to stop motion.
Yes, we do.
And it looks like some chewed up bubble gum.
Yeah.
Okay.
Get that shit out.
Didn't even hold it, really, does it? Strong, stronger than he looks.
Needless to say, they can only go up from there.
No embarrassment.
No. But again, a big cult classic from the 80s, man. And so that's what led to Basket Case 2, where they had, again, a little bit more money for better effects and somewhat of a more sicker story, man. So, yeah, again, if you're up for like just B movies, man, where you know that they're cheaply made but fun, this is a series you can get into, and they do get better as they go along. Well, I don't know about 3 because I haven't seen 3.
Isn't the third one where he has children?
Yeah,
like he spawns of another weird tumor wad of gum, and they have all these kids.
Because he gets with this chick who's also deformed.
Yeah,
in a way.
but like the running gag is like they're trying to save the kids, but they keep dying. Which sounds horrible when I say it, but it's like they're all gross.
Yeah. Let's get into our last one right here. And this one I'm saving for last because this does make a lot of lists. So that's why I didn't put it up at the front, because you'd be like, of course. But it genuinely is one of my favorite sequels out there. And a lot of people, I don't know about a lot, but a few people don't agree with this one. I've heard.
Okay.
I'm not talking about anybody in this room.
We're talking.
Why is the camera running?
I don't know, man. It's
That's
weird.
not me, man. What's
I'm
going
not
on?
sure.
But this is the one I'm closing my list with.
Sir, is the building on fire? No, that's a false alarm.
So, Gremlins 2.
The new batch.
The new batch. And the reason why I like this so much is because I love Gremlins, man. Gremlins is, again, one of one of my favorite, Christmas horror, comedy, fantasy films.
What is it?
It's your new pet.
Never let them eat after midnight.
Ridiculous rules, and
hey, they were simple rules and they could not be followed.
And they could not be followed, but also ridiculous. And the movie kind of also at points took on because of the director, Joe Dante, right? Joe Dante treated this the first Gremlins in some parts like a Looney Tunes cartoon, and sometimes the tone didn't always match all the time. But then that's what made the movie. That's what made the movie unique, I think. Yeah. But they just went ahead and just embraced the full ridiculousness of everything. The rules, the cartoony feel, more of a comedy right here. And then I can understand it not working for everybody, but I thought at least you built upon it and played up on what was some of the things that made it a fun movie, some things that made a ridiculous movie, and you just expanded on it and commented on those things too. Like there's a part in the movie where they say, they talk about not feeding them after midnight, and the guy's like, "Well, what if they're in a different time zone? They got turkey in their TV." Yeah, exactly. It was stuff like that I appreciated the movie for. I just remember that was the year I also got out of basic training, so man, I was just happy to be back home. So until this and it was at the Dollar Theater that my friend ran. This and RoboCop 2 were the two movies that I first saw when I got back out of boot camp. And RoboCop 2 was not that great, but I remember loving this at the time. Martin, I got your list prepared right here. And as I said, Martin only has, you want to take a guess? Martin only has one movie that's on my list. That's on his list.
Oh, I have no idea. I guess Devil Rejects, maybe?
Maybe.
No, I was wrong.
No.
I know he mentioned you like that.
Yeah, didn't know that was their sequel.
So, oh shit, I didn't say go yet. So, I liked this movie, and I did not like it at first when I saw it. But I don't know, I think talking to you brought me around to just how this movie was being ridiculous on purpose because of one person right now that he's known for his ridiculousness.
Who's that?
Recognition of his leadership and tenacity, Lieutenant Terrence McDonough.
This is what is this?
Bad Lieutenant in Port of Call, New Orleans.
Yeah, I remember looking at this and thinking, man, this is just so mean. But,
so mean.
Yeah, but then you told me how it was supposed to be just this abrasive and also this just silly.
Yeah, well, because with the first Bad Lieutenant with Harvey Keitel, it's about a corrupt cop, and you're just watching him be a corrupt cop and just despicable. His character is very similar to Gary Oldman in The Professional.
Yeah.
So here with Nicolas Cage, some years later, now it's directed by Werner Herzog, and Nicolas Cage, he's not doing the ridiculous Nicolas Cage. He's being, the actor Nicolas Cage for the first part, but telling him about this back pain, and this thing just keeps escalating, and it's Werner Herzog just leaning into it. So you get sucked in. At first, it's like, oh, okay, this is a cop movie, and it goes, and you're with him, and it keeps you on the edge of your seat and sweating along with him the whole time. Because I thought I was just watching it be a joke, but I was like, oh shit, I'm way into this, and it's getting crazy. But I'm in this far. Let's keep it going.
Yeah,
I had a great time. I wanted to watch it again as soon as I got done.
Yeah, you actually, you made me want to watch it again because, like I said, I had a different appreciation.
I'm surprised you don't like, because watching, I was like, man, Corey would love this movie.
Yeah, I don't know what it was with me at the time, man, but hey, listen, I'll probably watch it again because I do have, I get it now.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on with me at the time. Maybe a bad day. I don't know. Maybe my back hurt.
I remember you came out of it, Cargill loved it, and you were like, that movie was stupid.
Maybe because he was talking about it.
Hey, maybe. You see how that can happen?
Yeah. But this one is you'll appreciate.
Yeah,
and
imagine I probably know what it is.
Yeah, and I, even though it wasn't on my list, didn't have to put it on there because you put it up there, and I 100% agree with you. So this is Dr. Sleep.
Dr. Sleep.
Why did it make your list, Martin?
Because rather than being, it's a sequel to The Shining, but instead of being a copy of The Shining or even having that same aesthetic, it went more of being accurate to the book, but being its own thing. It's a great tale to get wrapped up in it, and you stop thinking about The Shining. But it's its own story that you get wrapped up in, and you don't think about The Shining until the end, and it brings it back around into The Shining. And I think it does so in such a way that it makes The Shining better. Like it comes back around, and you go like, oh, this is kind of filling in some gaps here. And now, rather than thinking these are two separate entities, they really are integrated.
I don't think I have the right one, Martin. But I'm gonna put it up here anyway. I might have the wrong one from the wrong series, but you tell me.
I bet you do.
I think I do.
Oh, that's the right one.
Oh, this is right. Good.
Yeah.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2.
Yeah, the old one with Dennis Hopper.
Yeah.
Where he's got the double chainsaws. It is to the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre is Evil Dead 2 is to Evil Dead. It's like let's go back in here, but let's just make it fun and ridiculous.
Okay, so it's more of a comedy than this movie. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
This is one where they have the chili contest and all that kind of and the chili's people, of course. Man, how's your chili so good? But this is the last one that is on your list that is not on my list.
I did not do what they said I did.
That's a way to make people not believe it. Say that shit. I didn't do it. Sure.
That's not the reaction. That does not match what happens.
What do you mean, oh no?
Oh no.
Let's put your seatbelt on.
Wow.
What you mean, oh no? That's what I said, oh no.
We're going to divide up and search every house, hospital, hotel.
U.S. Marshals.
Yeah. I always thought The Fugitive was an overrated movie, but it's fine.
Keep going. I'm sorry.
You'll be okay.
I like U.S. Marshals too, though. It's a great movie.
Yeah, that's the thing. With U.S. Marshals, you go like, all right, here comes that inferior sequel where they're just trying to, make bank off of the first movie. And maybe it would have been, but Wesley Snipes is such a badass in this movie that he turns it around. Where it's like, oh man, this is. He's made this fun where I'm just watching it for him.
Did this movie do well though?
I don't know.
I don't think it did nearly as well as
The Fugitive. Nobody talks about it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, man. There you go. And the one that we had in common was what was it? Harold and Kumar.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the one that we had in common right there. So there you go, folks. I know some people sent emails over saying what they thought their most underrated and underappreciated movies were as far as sequels go. We'll probably read those a little bit later, but if you have anything that you want to tell us, if there is a comment section there, right here, right there, or anywhere, go ahead and say what you got to say about underappreciated and underperforming sequels to movies that are actually very good, if not better than the first.
You don't have these prepped because I didn't send anything to you, but I just want to give a shout out because I don't think they're often brought up. Lion King 2, Simba's Pride, and Lion King 1.5. I think are really good sequels.
I do too.
Yeah.
I think I remember watching 1.5. That was very funny.
Which is all from the perspective of Timon and Pumbaa.
Who were just talking shit the whole time.
Yeah,
serious
exactly. All these horrible things are happening. And they're like, oh yeah, he's going up there. It's raining. Hope it stops. Oh, it's not raining.
Hey, what is everybody here for? So what happens in Lion King 2?
So it's years later, and Nala and Simba have a daughter, and basically he's become super protective of her because he doesn't want the same experience that he went through happen to her.
Yeah.
But there's this contingent of lions that's like loyal to Scar, who he said, get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
Banished all of them. And so they live in like the Outlands, whatever it was called.
Yeah.
And so one of them, who was like the mate to Scar, she has a son.
Really?
Yeah, I know. Well, it's not his cub, but he said, well, if anything happens to me, I guess that little shit will be my heir. And it's basically Simba's daughter and Scar's chosen successor that fall in love with each other. And how these two, it's Romeo and Juliet.
Okay.
And how either side's just like, absolutely not. Yeah. But they're like, yeah, we want to But it has really good music. The villain song is excellent. And there's this whole one where Simba's like tells Kovu, who's the Scar protege, is like, get the hell out of here. And like all the animals just start bullying him, and they have this song called Deception, Disgrace. Playing as the scar across his face, because he gets a scar too. It's really good.
So that's
that's Kovu, and that's Simba and Nala's daughter.
Okay, he's gay too. Yeah. Look at him, sweetheart. You ain't got no chance.
Yeah. Oh my God!
I got something to say. I'm gay. No! Jeez, I thought you take that a lot better.
What's the murder trial?